Thank you for downloading this episode of In Your Own Time. For more details of In Your Own Time and for our terms of use, please go to bbc.co.uk/Radio 4. I hope you enjoy the programme. Hello, we must act with all urgency then, not only because we are drawing closer to death at every moment, but also because our power to understand things and pay close attention to them gives out before the end. So said the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. We're here today to discuss urgency and its history in philosophy, from the Stoics to the Nihilists, from Schopenhauer to Chopin, from the shopping channel to Women's Hour. With us today are Hilary Dilary-Dock, Professor of Ancient History at Oxford University, Richard Ramble, Philosopher and Professor of Philosophy at Exeter University, and Gordon Windbottom, Professor of Theology and Fellow at King's College, Cambridge University. Hilary, we'll start with you. Can you first tell us, please, what urgency meant to Marcus Aurelius?
Well, it's rather a difficult question. It really depends. I mean, it's such a valid question.
We're going to have to move on there. Richard Ramble, you've written on the philosophy of time, and in particular the tyranny of the urgent. What do you mean by that phrase exactly, and of what importance is anything you've written?
Absolutely, you're quite right to point that out. And it really depends on whether you're looking at this from a point of view of before or after the Enlightenment. That is, whether or not you're pre-Enlightened, as it were, or postmodern. And by modern, of course, we mean all sorts of things, but whether or not it's preconceived or something quite the reverse. And, of course, the Stoics talked a lot about this, and we had the tyranny of hope. The Roman Catholics had the liturgy of Pope. And in the mid to late 20th century, even we had the litany of dope, what with one thing or another, and all the other way around. And what's important is that if it is, or in fact, whether it ever was, one way or another, nevertheless, it was, and the Greeks proved that, and that is one of the many things we have to thank them for today, if they'd only listen. Now,
going to have to stop you there. We'll come back to that. I just wanted to ask Gordon Windbottom to what extent the age of intelligence is dwindling, and can we do anything about it, if anything? Well, that's all we have time for, I'm afraid. Due to the cancellation of this series, I'll be back next week for the first episode of In Our Mime, where I'll be joined by a panel of imitators, artists and actors who'll be discussing Freud through interpretive dance and silent movement of the body. Join us then.